We are now going to begin work on identifying the keys on the piano and what their names are. In music, we use the letter names A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you repeat those names over and over on the keyboard. We already understand how to identify C by the two black keys and then the white key that is just to the left of those two black keys. So if this is C, then the next note higher is going to be D, E, F, G, and because G is the last letter that we use in music, then we're going to start over again with A, B, C. And as you can see, on this key, it is once again the white key that is just to the left of the two black notes. So if you have a full-size keyboard, the very first key on your piano would be an A, but if you have a different size keyboard, I guess my assignment to you this week would be to figure out what the first key is on your keyboard and let me know. And the way that you'll be able to figure that out is through the patterns on the black keys. So first, what I'd like you to do is put your second, third, and fourth finger on the groups of 3 black keys and go ahead and play all of those black keys, identify them, and play all of them down your piano. And then you'll do the same with your right hand going up your piano. Because again, these black keys are going to be essential in identifying all of the white keys on the piano. So then, of course, we also have our groups of 2 black keys. So go ahead and play all of the groups of 2 black keys on the piano to make sure you understand where they all are. And then we're going to go ahead and start understanding how we can now identify the white keys because of where the black keys are situated. On page 34 of your manual, they introduce how to find C and F on your piano. And so our C, again, is the first white key to the left of the 2 black notes. And then our F is located as the first white key that is to the left of the 3 black notes. So here is our F. So here's C and F. I want you to now go ahead and play and name all of the C's on your keyboard, starting to the very left of your keyboard. And so you would play each C, which is located to the left of the 2 black keys. And then this very top note would be C again, because it would follow the pattern of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, after you've done that with the C's and the F's, the next thing I want you to practice is what we call the octave stretch. It's whenever you take your thumb and have it placed on one C, and then your pinky is then placed on the C that is an octave or 8 notes higher than the C that your thumb is playing. You want to get used to this octave stretch. You can play one note at a time and getting a feel for how that is, as well as playing them simultaneously. Especially in hymn playing, you're going to find a lot of octave stretches with the chords that are found in the songs. So once you play all of the C's and F's individually, then I'm going to want you to do the same thing with the F's, playing that octave stretch. So again, the F is found, 3 black keys just to the left of it. And then go ahead and practice playing that octave stretch with both the left and the right hands. Once you're comfortable identifying the C's and F's on the piano, you're going to turn to page 34 in your manual, and you're going to be practicing this line of music where they no longer are giving you finger numbers. Instead, they're giving you the names of the notes. So here you see you have C, F, C, 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 F, F, C. They want our right hand to play this line and then the left hand to play the line below. What you'll do first is make sure you're comfortable with the rhythms. So you can use your rhythmic names of das, or you can count the beats. I'll demonstrate both. So we start here with da, 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 Or if I were to count to 4 beats in each measure, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first thing that you're going to do when you start this exercise, is get comfortable with the rhythms. Once you have done that, they want you to put your thumb on middle C, and then your 4th finger would then be lined up to play on the F. And then go ahead and say the names of the notes as you're playing. And after you say the names of the notes, then go ahead and say the rhythmic names or count the beats in each measure as you play it again. They just want us to get really comfortable with understanding that when you're playing this note here, it is always going to be a C. And when you're playing this note here to the left of the 3 black keys, it is always going to be an F. I'd like you to continue to do these exercises from pages 34 to 38. Go ahead and follow all the directions that are listed up at the top, adding the octave stretch that I demonstrated with the C's and the F's. Another thing that I want to make sure you do is whenever you play these lines that they provide with the different names of the notes, I want you to switch up the finger numbers. Here, because A and B are directly next to each other, you will be playing with your finger numbers 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. Whenever we had our C's and F's, because there is a distance of 4 notes between each one, I would recommend using finger numbers 1 and 4 and 2 and 5 with this exercise. But do go ahead and switch up what finger numbers you use with these, and pay close attention to your rhythms. Make sure you're getting very solid on that. And then of course down at the bottom of each page, they ask you to label specific notes on the keys. And so please go ahead and do that to just help yourself get more and more comfortable with where each of these notes are on the piano. Now that you're familiar with where all the notes are on the keyboard, they're going to be having us play hymns with names of notes instead of finger numbers. In How Gentle God's Commands on page 39, they're introducing a few new concepts. First, let's look at the time signature. We have 3 beats per measure, and the 4 on the bottom of the time signature tells us that the quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. But you'll notice that in this first measure, there is only 1 beat. This note here is called a pickup note. And the rest of the measure counts are going to be found here at the end of the song. So as you can see, there are 2 beats included in this last measure, and there's only 1 beat here. This is a very common approach that you'll find in music, in hymns, as well as other songs, where they'll have a pickup note, and then again the rest of the beats here at the end of the song. Sometimes it will be 1 note or 1 beat, and other times it will, differ. It's not always just 1 beat. So the way that I would count this then with the beats of the measure is I would then start with beat 3 and then go on saying the beats. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So this would be 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Another thing that this hymn is introducing us to is these lines here, which in music are called slurs or legato lines. They're just asking that these notes be played nice and smoothly together, that there won't be any breaks or anything. And so in hymns, a lot of times this indicates that 1 syllable is going to be sung on 2 notes. But in general in music, it just is showing that they want these notes to be smoothly connected. This is the hand position that they're asking us to take for How Gentle God's Commands. You'll have your thumb on your left hand on middle C, and then your thumb on your right hand on the next white note, which would be D. I will go ahead and demonstrate how I'd like you to practice this, saying the names of the notes as you play. E, E, C, E, D, B, D, C, 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 A, C, C, G, C, B, D, D, B, D, C, E, G, G, D, F, E, G, A, G, E, F, E, C, D, C. On page 40, we're going to be learning God loved us, so he sent his son. We're going to learn one new thing in this piece, and that is this symbol right here. This is called a fermata in music. And when you see this symbol where it has a curved line with a dot, these are all taking place here in the left hand, so the curve is on the bottom with the dot. But as you can see, when it's in the right hand, it's just flipped over. When you see this fermata, it means that you are to hold the note a little longer than the normal value. There isn't any science to it. It's just whatever feels right in the music. A lot of times the director will determine how long it will be held to indicate when the congregation and the accompanist is to move on. We also get to have some practice with the pickup notes in this piece as well. As you can see, there are 4 beats in each measure, but if you look at this first measure here, there are only 2 beats in this measure. And so the way I would count this then, if I were counting how many beats there were in each measure, I would start with beats 3 and 4. So it would sound like this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So then again, I would just hold out that beat for as long as I want, then continue on. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This video lesson itself was very short compared to the other video lessons. However, the practicing in this is going to be a lot longer. There's going to be a lot of work involved in getting yourself very familiar with where all the notes are on the keys. And so do those exercises over and over again on pages 34 through 38 to make sure you're just very comfortable with all the C's and D's, E's, F's, G's, the A's and B's where they are on the piano. You may have found that the hymns in this section are a little bit more difficult to play, not because the hymn itself is more difficult, but because of how they're presenting it. They're only giving you the notes. There's no finger numbers, but they do give you your hand position, so take note of where your hands need to be positioned in order to play all of those notes properly. Practice, practice, practice. If you have any questions, send them my way, and happy practicing.